Jolene Macintyre's journey in the world of custom automotive building is often framed as a story of success, innovation, and determination, but behind the public image lies a far more complex and emotionally demanding reality. As a financial manager, business co-founder, and creative force behind a rapidly growing custom car enterprise in Nova Scotia, she became central to transforming a small workshop into a globally recognized brand. Her life appeared to balance creativity and structure, ambition and discipline, yet the same momentum that fueled her success also created constant pressure. Long working hours, financial responsibility, and leadership expectations placed her in a position where personal well-being often came second to professional demands. Even as her reputation grew through media exposure and expanding digital audiences, Jolene was simultaneously managing internal strain within her family life and partnership. The foundation of her world, built on collaboration and shared ambition, began to feel increasingly fragile. This tension set the stage for a series of emotional and professional challenges that would culminate in a devastating personal loss, forcing her to confront not only the future of her career but also the deeper meaning of resilience in the face of grief and responsibility. Early discipline, education, and the foundations of ambition. Before becoming a recognizable figure in the custom automotive industry, Jolene Macintyre built a strong academic and personal foundation, shaped by discipline and ambition. Raised in Nova Scotia, she developed a mindset rooted in perseverance and responsibility from an early age. Her involvement in competitive sports, particularly soccer during her college years, helped her build resilience, teamwork, and focus under pressure. These qualities later became essential in her professional life, where deadlines and technical demands required constant coordination and decision-making. Academically, she pursued a Bachelor of Commerce with a focus on finance, giving her the analytical tools necessary to manage budgets, evaluate risks, and guide business growth. She also studied kinesiology, which broadened her understanding of physical systems and workplace efficiency, indirectly supporting her later involvement in hands-on environments like automotive fabrication. After completing her studies, she entered the workforce in a modest local setting, gaining early exposure to real-world responsibility and customer interaction. These experiences, though ordinary at the time, formed the backbone of her future career. They equipped her with a rare combination of financial literacy, practical awareness, and emotional resilience that would later allow her to operate in a highly demanding creative and industrial environment. Meeting Chad and the beginning of a shared vision, Jolene Macintyre's life took a decisive turn when she met Chad Hiltz during a chance encounter connected to a local automotive event near her workplace. What began as a casual meeting quickly evolved into a shared passion for building unconventional custom vehicles. Their collaboration started informally but soon developed into a deeper professional and personal partnership. Together, they began experimenting with vehicle design, fabrication techniques, and creative automotive concepts that challenged traditional norms. Jolene's structured financial thinking complemented Chad's more instinctive and experimental approach, creating a balance that proved essential to their early success. As they spent more time working together, their relationship also grew personally, eventually becoming a committed partnership that blended both business and life. This dual connection intensified the stakes of every decision they made, as success or failure would affect both their company and their personal relationship. Despite the excitement of building something new, the early stages were also marked by uncertainty, financial strain, and long working hours. Yet the shared vision of creating something unique in the automotive world kept them moving forward, laying the groundwork for what would eventually become a recognizable brand and a rapidly expanding creative enterprise. Building a custom automotive enterprise from the ground up. As their collaboration deepened, Jolene Macintyre and her partner transformed a modest garage operation into a growing custom automotive enterprise. What started as small-scale projects gradually evolved into complex builds that attracted local attention and eventually broader interest. Jolene played a central role in structuring the business side of operations, managing budgets, coordinating schedules, and ensuring that ambitious creative projects remained financially viable. Her ability to bring order to an often unpredictable fabrication process became one of the key factors behind the workshop's early stability. At the same time, she remained actively involved in the production environment, contributing to planning and occasionally participating in hands-on tasks. The business began to develop a reputation for originality, producing visually striking vehicles that blended artistic design with mechanical ingenuity. As demand increased, so did the workload, leading to longer hours and tighter deadlines. The growing pressure required constant adaptation, especially as projects became more complex and client expectations increased. Despite these challenges, the enterprise continued to expand, attracting attention beyond its local roots, and setting the stage for media exposure that would soon transform the business into a widely recognized name in the custom automotive world. The demands of leadership and constant operational pressure. As the custom automotive business expanded, Jolene Macintyre found herself increasingly responsible for maintaining operational stability amid rising demand. Her role extended far beyond financial oversight, evolving into a multifaceted position that included project coordination, resource management, and strategic planning. Each build required careful budgeting and precise scheduling, and even minor delays could create cascading effects across multiple projects. Jolene became the central figure, ensuring that creative ambition did not exceed logistical capacity. Her workload intensified as the business attracted more clients and larger-scale commissions, each requiring detailed planning and continuous oversight. At the same time, internal challenges began to emerge, including disagreements over timelines, resource allocation, and production priorities. These tensions were amplified by the close personal relationship between business partners, making professional decisions emotionally charged. Despite the mounting pressure, Jolene continued to push forward, often sacrificing rest and personal time to keep projects on track. Her ability to manage complexity earned her respect within the team, but also contributed to growing fatigue. Over time, the constant demands of leadership created a sense of exhaustion that would later become a critical factor in her emotional and professional journey. Expansion into media and the weight of public attention. The growth of the custom automotive enterprise eventually attracted attention from television and digital media platforms, significantly altering the scale of Jolene Macintyre's responsibilities. What had once been a workshop-focused operation became a public-facing brand with global visibility. Jolene took on an essential role in managing media production, overseeing content scheduling, budgeting for digital expansion, and ensuring that the creative process translated effectively to screen. This shift introduced a new layer of pressure, as every project was now both a technical build and a media product. Filming schedules often overlapped with fabrication deadlines, creating intense time constraints and frequent disruptions to workflow. Jolene also appeared on camera, adding performance expectations to her already demanding responsibilities. The exposure brought increased recognition and business opportunities, but it also reduced her personal privacy and amplified scrutiny. As audiences grew, so did expectations for consistent output and high-quality content. The transition to digital platforms further intensified this demand, requiring constant engagement and rapid adaptation to changing algorithms and viewer preferences. While the media expansion strengthened the brand's reach, it also contributed significantly to burnout risk and emotional strain, setting the stage for deeper personal challenges. Emotional strain, burnout, and complex family dynamics. Behind the public success of the business, Jolene Macintyre faced growing emotional strain caused by relentless workloads and increasingly complex personal dynamics. The overlap between professional collaboration and romantic partnership created situations where disagreements over budgets, timelines, and strategic direction carried emotional weight beyond typical workplace conflict. At home, responsibilities did not diminish, as she also navigated relationships within an extended family structure that required attention, patience, and emotional presence. The combination of business leadership, media responsibilities, and family obligations left little space for recovery or rest. Over time, fatigue accumulated, manifesting as burnout and reduced emotional resilience. Even when projects were successful, the lack of downtime made it difficult to fully experience relief or satisfaction. The pressure of maintaining both financial stability and creative output created a cycle of constant urgency. Despite recognizing the need to eventually reduce her workload, Jolene often felt that stepping back was not a viable option, due to the interconnected nature of the business and her essential role within it. This internal conflict between responsibility and self-preservation became increasingly significant as external circumstances began to intensify in unexpected and deeply personal ways. The sudden illness and loss that changed everything. In late 2024, Jolene Macintyre's life was profoundly altered by the sudden illness and passing of her mother, who had long been a source of emotional strength and guidance. The diagnosis of terminal cancer came unexpectedly and progressed rapidly, leaving little time for preparation or emotional adjustment. Within weeks, Jolene was confronted with the reality of impending loss while continuing to fulfill her demanding professional responsibilities. This period forced her into an exhausting dual existence, shifting between the role of a business leader managing complex projects and a daughter facing the gradual loss of a deeply important family figure. The emotional strain of this experience was immense, as each day carried both professional obligations and personal grief. When her mother passed away in late November 2024, it marked a turning point that disrupted every aspect of her life. The loss created an emotional void that affected her ability to maintain her usual pace of work, leading to delays, restructuring of projects, and shifts in team dynamics. Beyond operational consequences, the event fundamentally reshaped her emotional landscape, introducing a level of grief that influenced her decisions, priorities, and sense of identity moving forward. Grief, responsibility, and the decision to continue forward. Following the loss of her mother, Jolene Macintyre faced a period of intense emotional difficulty while also confronting the demands of an ongoing business empire. The grief she experienced was not isolated from her professional life. Instead, it directly influenced her capacity to manage schedules, make decisions, and maintain the energy required for leadership. Projects slowed, communication patterns shifted, and the overall rhythm of the business temporarily changed. Despite this, she ultimately chose to continue forward rather than withdraw from her responsibilities. This decision was shaped by both practical necessity and emotional resilience, as stepping away entirely would have placed additional strain on ongoing projects and the broader team. Publicly acknowledging her loss, she shared reflections about her mother's influence and the lasting emotional connection she continued to feel. Rather than separating grief from work, she allowed the two to coexist, using professional engagement as a form of structure during a destabilizing time. This approach did not eliminate pain, but it provided a framework for continuity. Over time, work became both a challenge and a coping mechanism, allowing her to gradually re-establish stability while still carrying the weight of personal loss, rebuilding through work, expansion, and renewed focus. As time progressed into 2025, Jolene Macintyre began a gradual process of rebuilding both her emotional stability and the operational strength of the business. Rather than retreating from responsibilities, she became more deeply involved in restructuring projects, refining financial systems, and overseeing long-term development plans. New construction initiatives, including expanded facilities and showroom development, became symbols of continuity and progress. These projects required careful coordination, international collaboration, and renewed strategic focus. At the same time, the digital presence of the business continued to grow, requiring consistent content management and audience engagement. Jolene played a central role in maintaining this momentum, ensuring that production schedules remained steady and that quality standards were preserved. International travel and industry engagement further expanded the brand's reach, introducing new opportunities and partnerships. Despite ongoing emotional challenges, she demonstrated an ability to channel personal experience into professional motivation. The work environment became both a space of healing and a platform for growth, allowing her to transform grief into sustained productivity. This period marked a shift from survival-focused management to long-term strategic rebuilding, reinforcing her role as a central figure in the continued evolution of the enterprise. Legacy, resilience, and the meaning of moving forward. Jolene Macintyre's journey ultimately reflects a complex interplay between ambition, responsibility, and personal loss. Her experience illustrates how success in a demanding creative industry often comes with hidden emotional costs, particularly when professional and personal lives are deeply intertwined. Through years of growth, she played a critical role in transforming a small workshop into a globally recognized custom automotive brand, demonstrating strong leadership and financial acumen. Yet her story is equally defined by the emotional weight of burnout, family pressures, and the profound impact of losing a parent during a critical phase of her career. Rather than stepping away permanently, she chose to continue building, adapting, and evolving despite ongoing grief. This decision reshaped her identity, reinforcing a sense of resilience grounded not in the absence of pain, but in the ability to function and grow alongside it. Her continued involvement in business expansion, media production, and strategic planning reflects a commitment to long-term purpose. Ultimately, her journey stands as a narrative of endurance, where personal tragedy and professional ambition intersect, shaping a life defined not only by achievement, but also by the capacity to move forward through adversity.